So, I have some very big news. I have been thinking about being a tip trainer for a really long time, and I think this is the year that I'm going to do it. I've got my barn up, I'm working on paddocks, but the big project that's going to be happening here soon this spring is I'm going to be making pens to be having Mustangs on the property. Now, before I can apply, I have to have my pens up as well as shelters, so that way when I turn in my application, the Mustang Heritage Foundation can approve my application and make sure that I have the proper closures to keep a wild horse in, because when you pull them off the BLM, they have had no handling, and it will be my job to gentle them. Gentling, such as haltering them, having them lead, pick up all four legs, having them load into a trailer, just basically domesticating them. Now, the foundation requires that you have a 400 square foot area for the animal plus shelter. Now, it varies between different animals such as burros, younger Mustangs, and adult Mustangs. What I'm interested in are the adult Mustangs, and for my fencing, I'm going to do the maximum height, which they say for an adult Mustang is 6 feet. Now, talking to other tip trainers, they say to do 7 because they have seen their horses jump a 6-foot fence, and I do not want to have to chase that wild horse in my area. Okay, because if they outrun me, they're going to town. And build this to make sure that even a buffalo can't get out of, hopefully. Now, they do have the requirements for what materials you use, how you space out the poles. You're going to be using poles that are 6 inches, that posts that go into the ground that are 6 inches in diameter. They're spaced out 8 feet apart, no less. You can use wood, you can use pipe, metal, but you cannot use large space mesh fence. You can't use electric, you can't use barbed wire, which all makes sense because if they get scared, they're going to hurt themselves. You're basically going to be using, like, do you see above me those kind of rails that I used for my rafters on my shed? Stuff like that. You can't have a minimum, it's got to be a minimum of 3-inch diameter for a round pole for a railing, and you got to have a minimum of 1.5-inch width for a plank. That's going to be 2 by 8 inches. So we had that for options. I might do mine at a lodge pole. I'm not entirely sure yet. I have to get the amount of posts that I'm going to need, and I'm going to hire a company to drive them in for me. So I know that they're going to be in there really good because I don't have the equipment and I do everything by hand. And some of my posts get a little wiggly, so I want to make sure that those puppies are down there. It's going to be the area that I am thinking. Can you hear him? What are you doing? It's cold down there, bro. It's cold down there, honey. I have my assistant manager out here with me. But this is the area that I want to use for my pens and my round pen. Back behind me, you can see the barn, and you see my hay. And down yonder is more pens. I'll call that the domestic side. I'll call this the wild side. So I used to have pens down here a few years ago, but we tore them down when we moved, and then we moved back. So I do still have sand, which is good. I'll be adding more. But this is the area that I'm thinking I'm going to set up. Now I'm going to take you guys with me on this whole process, from putting up the pens, to laying down the sand, to filling out the application, to picking up the horse, and I want you with me on this new adventure. decided I wanted to walk out the area I had in mind in building the enclosure. I got my handy dandy roller that clicks the measurements as I walk along the ground with it. Very handy. What I have in mind for this area, 40-foot round pen, and then the remaining area will be a 34 by 60 foot space that I can use for the paddocks. Here you'll see me attempt to set up my camera to show you the remaining shot of me trying to measure. But little man had other ideas. He wanted to be the star of the show. Over here. He was very much interested in my camera. Jack. So anyways, I was able to walk out the whole span of the area that I had in mind, and altogether it is 100 feet with the 40-foot round pen, and then the remaining 60-foot area came to, of course, 100 feet. I'm going to have a 30-foot area, which means that I was thinking about having a 24-foot wide pen plus a 10-foot wide alleyway, just so I can run horses back and forth from pens to round pen, out of the trailer, just anywhere that I needed. And I found that I had plenty of space in order to kind of think about my layout. I am really excited about this project, and I hope you are too, and you find it interesting and are able to learn something. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me for more videos. Oh, you avoid that manure pile, sir. What are you doing? Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, you're okay.